I designed this Apex Legends character, but of course it's not a legit character in the game. But it's a character that I think would make some really fun gameplay if they were in Apex Legends, which is why I designed the character in the first place. In this video, I'll be taking y'all on a deep dive of how I designed this Apex Legend, all the way from idea to full character design. To those of you that are new to this channel, hi, I'm Janelle and I'm a concept artist and illustrator, and I make art and character design related videos here on this channel. Before I even started drawing anything, I knew that I wanted to design an Apex Legends character. One, because it's a really cool game and I love the art. Two, because I needed a really awesome portfolio project. And three, because I had a really fun idea for an Apex character. And that idea is the cornerstone to this whole entire design project. My initial idea inspiration was the concept of hitboxes. Now, to those of you who don't know what hitboxes are, they're pretty much a designated area that checks for collisions. For example, if I was in a game and there is a wall next to me, I can add a hitbox to the wall to make sure I don't move through the wall like a ghost. Now, the reason why I focus on hitboxes for my character is because I wanted my character to be able to switch between a small hitbox and a large hitbox. This would make a character be able to swap between being a large target or a smaller target, which, you know, I thought would be pretty cool. And also in Apex, the smaller characters move faster too. So that would be an additional plus to having a smaller hitbox. I thought having a character that could swap between these two modes would make some fun gameplay. But of course that would mean I would either have to design a character that could shrink and grow like Ant-Man, or make two completely different characters that a player could just swap between. And I ended up picking the second option just because a character that can shrink and grow, and that's their whole entire ability, that's kind of lame. So I decided to design two characters because I like making complicated designs. Now, I had to figure out what kind of abilities this duo character would have, and I ultimately decided that this character would be a recon type, and that this character would just be a singular character but have two different modes you can swap in between. And I decided that these modes would be a character inside of a suit and can jump out of the suit, so kind of like Samus and Zero Suit Samus. And the abilities of this legend would tie into the character's ability to swap between a suit and no suit. So the character's passive is swapping in between suit and zero suit within 5 meters of each other. And the tactical is that when the character jumps out of the suit becomes a beacon that shows the number of enemies that are in an area on the radar up to 300 meters. And finally, the character's ult would be to teleport the zero suit character back to their suit with their full team. Or if the suit is destroyed, it will make a new suit and teleport the team to them. Now that I have the abilities and the basic idea for this character figured out, I gotta make a design that would fit in with Titanfall lore and also look really cool and just fit the abilities with the character, like a match made in heaven. So I thought it'd be fun to play on the idea of the two different versions of the character to be like a pair, like Ken and Barbie or Jekyll and Hyde. So with the zero suit being Barbie and the mecha suit being Ken. Of course, I changed the name to Bonnie and Clyde because it's still the same concept, just without the existing IP. With this Bonnie and Clyde concept, I thought it would be interesting to have this character's lore be like an alien invasion, but the alien is just like surveying the world and is disguised in this human-esque mecha suit. Kind of like Peridot from Steven Universe or Fortnite's Joey and Unzipped Joey, but better. The hard thing with designing for an already existing game is making sure that your character looks like they belong in the game, but that you are also able to express yourself as an individual artist. So what I like to do is explore a design in my own style, and then when I go into render for the final design, I just make sure it fits the game style. You want to be able to explore ideas comfortably without feeling restricted to a specific art style. So I'm going to be showing y'all how exactly I do this. Oh my goodness, a spider. I got it. But first, of course, starting this whole design process with
a first is worst is sketch.
Which, to those of y'all who don't know, it's pretty much just your first sketch that's really bad, but gets the basic idea down for you to then just take and explore better options. From there, I made my first round of iterations, or I guess sketches. And for these, I made a base figure so that I can paint on top different design elements. And I do this because I am very slow when it comes to drawing, and just slapping a bunch of colorful shapes on top helps me see my ideas better and come up with some new ideas or directions for the design. After this first round, I decided to take this design because I liked it the most and I want to explore more in this direction. So I made 3 more versions, and did I forget to mention that Apex Legends uses a crap ton of straps? So I'm literally just throwing on straps to these sketches pretty much for no reason except for the game's aesthetic. And from this round of sketches, I decided to go with this design, but it's not perfect, so I ended up tweaking it a little bit, and now this design is perfect. But one thing you have to keep in mind is during this whole entire sketch process, I had to think about the character's overall look compared to Apex already existing characters. Because the one thing I do not want to happen is for my character to look super similar to another character. That would just be the worst. Same thing with colors. I ended up picking these colors because they weren't overly obnoxious and also fit in with the color schemes, but were a different scheme to the other legends. So keeping that similar taste, but in a nuanced design. Okay, so for Clyde's design, I really like this cutout shape of the chest with the mecha shoulders. With Bonnie, she is wearing a full-on bodysuit. It's kind of hard to differentiate, so the fact that she has these cool looking dreads and her antennas makes her a very unique silhouette compared to some of the other designs. So make sure you can differentiate your character, but also make them look similar to the game's already existing characters. With my final design sketch in hand, it is time to make this character look legit. And in order to do that, I have to make sure that my design fits in with the Apex art style. So I found a senior concept artist at Respawn who works on Apex Legends, Jude Smith, and now his art is my style guide to make sure that my design fits in with the already existing Apex Legends designs. Okay, so starting this whole final design off, I start with a nice clean line art for both the 3/4 front and 3/4 back of both Bonnie and Clyde, because looking at other Respawn concepts, it looks like they only use 3/4 front and back for their designs. But of course, I might be wrong because they might just be doing more orthographic design stuff without showing the public. But because I have 2 character designs that I'm working on, I figured 3/4 front and back won't hurt. Less work for me, an overall happy artist. With these drawings done, I move on to rendering, which is my least favorite part of this whole design process, but it's still important to do. So I kind of just have to suck it up. So to make this part less painful for me, I like to render everything in grayscale with the basic shading like it's a 3D model. And I do this because I don't have to worry about potentially muddying up colors, and I can just focus on the overall design and the shading for the character to make sure it looks right. Once the grayscale is done, I add in color using overlay layers, and it's pretty simple. You just paint on top, nice and easy. And I like to add more adjustments using blend modes, both multiply and more overlay layers, till I am happy. Then finally, to finish the whole design off, I like to paint on top of everything, making sure it's all nice and clean and fits the Apex art style. Now, I had to do this for both the front and the back, so 4 renderings in total, which, oh boy, was a pain, but now they look really cool, so it was definitely worth it. Sup y'all, Editor Janelle here, and it turns out that I had to redo the final design because it looks nothing like the Apex Legends art style. I mean, just look at it. Yeah, so I had to tweak some things and fix up some spots like Bonnie's face, and Clyde just, he looks like a doll, so I had to make sure and like paint on top. It was a whole process thing, so I'm here telling you now that it's done now and it looks nice, so yay. Back to the video. This is the final design of Bonnie and Clyde. I am so proud of how they turned out, and I think it'd be really cool if Respawn ends up making an Apex Legends character like my character, because it'd be so cool to like switch between 2 different characters in game. What do y'all think though? Would you enjoy playing a character like this? Also, designing a character from an already existing game is way different than starting from scratch with no existing IP or art style. So you can watch this video right here to learn how to make a brand new character design from scratch. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed, please like this video and comment down below what game I should design a character for next. Otherwise, I will see you in the next video.